Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a review of Ra by Rainer Knizia. Now this is a auction set collection game from 1999. So this game's been around for a long time. When I got into the hobby, this is one of my most sought after games. I've heard a lot about it. I do like auction and bidding games, but it was out of print from for a while. I think the last company that had it was Fantasy Flight, and there was a lot online, but they want a lot of money. I always heard that there was a reprint coming, so I decided to wait. Now this is so I did wait. So I saw that Game Found had a well, 25th Century Games did the reprint, and I waited patiently. I saw it was on Game Found, and I jumped on it right away. Now this is the Pharaoh edition. So there was the retail edition and the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh's got upgraded components. You're gonna see on the how to play video how they look. Spoiler alert, this game is freaking gorgeous. So let me show you how to play, and then I'm going to let you know if I think this game is still worth it after 24 years. So check it out. Okay, so this is how a game of Ra is going to be set up. Everybody's going to get one of these boards, and depending on how many player counts, you're going to look over here. So if we're playing on a 5-player game, you're going to flip the board to the 5-player side, and everyone's going to be randomly given one of these boards. And on these boards, they're going to show you which number sundials you're going to get for it. So, for example, on this board, I start with 16, 7, and 2. And then on the auction board, there's always going to be the number 1 placed here. This is going to be the round tracker. That's going to track when the round ends. The game is going to be played in 3 rounds. This is going to symbolize which round you're in. So this is round 1, round 2, and then that means round 3. Now, in this game, this is, like I said before, this is an auction set collection game. So what you're going to be doing is 3 different things on your turn. So you can do 1, draw a tile. So you reach into this huge bag and draw a tile and place it here on the auction round. Now, I'll explain what the tiles do after, but on each turn you could either draw a tile from the bag. You can claim Ra, which is, and then you will get this token right here. So when you claim Ra, that means you start the auction process. And the third thing you can do is grab a tile from here using one of your Pharaoh tokens. I'm sorry, not these are the God tokens. All right, so I'll show you how each round works. So like I said before, you can either reach into the bag, draw a tile, and just keep going. Once you do that, your turn is over. So you only could do one of those 3 actions. So this board can be filled up. And once it's filled up, you have to start an auction. Now, if you call Ra and want to start an auction, the first player to your left is going to bid one of their 3 sundials on whatever's on the board. Then it's going to come back to the last player, and then that person has to make a bid. So if you call Ra, you're going to be the last one to bid, and you are forced and have to take a bid. So this was a God tile. So this is the third action you can do. If you have one of these tiles, you can discard them. They're taken out of the game, and you could take any of the tiles that are up here. So those are the 3 actions. Now I'm going to go over how the auctioning works. So again, when an auction takes place, when it's your turn, you're going to choose one of your 3 sundials. So let's say I'm going to choose 2. You would swap it out with whatever is here, and you would flip this over. Once all your tiles are flipped over, you can no longer bid for that round. So this is just going to keep going. So this is only if you win the bid that you would take the tile, the sundial that's here, and switch it. Stated before, once you can no longer bid, then you are out of that round. You're done. Now, what can happen is one player can be left in that round. So they could keep drawing tiles until they see what they like and then make a bid for it. And the game is not going to stop until all the players, the round is not going to stop until either all the players no longer have sundials, or if this reaches the end of the round. As you can see, this is on the 5-player marker, so in different player counts, it's on different spots of the board. Now, I'm going to go over what these tiles do. So this is a Ra tile. So this automatically starts an auction and moves this over. this is going to be a coin tile. So you will put it right here. And this will automatically give you 3 victory points for each of these tokens that you have. I stated before, these were the God tiles. Again, you can use these to take whatever one tile is discarded, to take any tile you want from the board. Or you can keep it till the end of the round and get 2 victory points for each of these tiles that you have. Then you're going to get the civilization tiles right here. Now, these are a little important because if you don't have any of these at the end of the round, you're going to automatically lose 5 points. And, of course, the person who has 3 different tiles, so each of them have different symbols on it. If you have 3 different tiles, you're going to get 5. And the rest goes for, like, so 4, 10, 5, 15. Now, this is the flood tile. The flood tiles are these water tiles that have the 3 lines on it. Now, these are also important because you're going to have the Nile tiles. You cannot score your Nile tiles without having at least one of these flood tiles on your board here. So you will automatically get 1 victory point for each flood tile that you have. But now when it comes to the Nile tiles, you'll get 1 point for each that you have unless you have the flood tile. If you don't have a flood tile, then you cannot score on your river tiles. Now these are the Pharaoh ones. So the Pharaoh, so I forgot to mention too, anything that's right on your board is going to be discarded at the end of each round. Anything that's on the left of your board, you're going to keep for the rest of the game, unless something happens, which I'll go over later. So at the end of each round, you're going to score, the person who has the most Pharaoh tiles is going to get 5 victory points at the end of that round. The one with the least gets 2. And if you're equal, then it's no victory points at all. Now, the next one is up here. Now, these are the monument tiles. So there's several different ones in here. So you got the Sphinx, you got the pyramids. There's a bunch of them. And again, you're gonna be scoring for every 3 of the same that you have. 5, 4 the same, 10, 5 the same, 15. And then if you have all different ones. Now, this is for end game scoring. So at the end of the game, for every 6 different tiles that you have, you're going to get 1 victory point for each of those tiles. If you have 7 different, it's 10. 8 different, it's 15. Now, the last one are these disaster tiles. So now these will always be up here on the board. Now, if you win an auction that has one of these disaster tiles, then you have to take this tile and follow what it says. So, for example, this means you're going to lose 2 monuments. So you will lose, first of all, if there's any monuments up here, those will be the first to be destroyed. If there aren't any up there, then you're going to lose from your own supply. And the same could go for your Pharaoh tiles, the Nile and the flood, and the Pharaoh tiles. So those disaster tiles can ruin everything. Could ruin anything for you. The game is played in 3 rounds. After that, you're going to count up everything here on your board. You're also going to count who has the highest number of sundials at the end of the game. And you're going to get, the person who has the most is going to get 5. The person who has the least is going to lose 5. And you always start the game with 10 victory points. Let me show you the victory point counters right here. They are amazing. So like this is 2. This is 5. This is 10. Actually, let me show you them up close. They're a lot nicer. Yeah, these are metal victory point counters. And you see they have a back because you're not supposed to disclose your how many victory points you have to your opponent. So you're supposed to keep these secret. And you also have 1. So yeah, this is Ra. Again, this is the Pharaoh edition. So it comes with a bigger bag, and you have these wood tiles. Everything else is wood. Really, really nice. This video does not do it justice how nice this game looks. But yeah, that's how to play. Now I'm going to let you know what I think about it. So that's how you play Ra. As you can see, this is a very easy, simple game. The rulebook is very well done. But now I'm going to go straight into my likes and dislikes. Now, the first thing I like is obviously the components. This is the Pharaoh edition, so the components are going to be the wooden tiles, wooden sundials, and of course the metal victory point tokens. Everything in this game is gorgeous, from the art to cardboard, to every single little thing. Even the bag is nice. But yeah, you know, this is the Pharaoh edition. Do you need the Pharaoh edition? Again, it depends on how much you like this game. If you're a fan of this game from back in the day, you can't go wrong with the retail. I've seen the retail version. It looks just as nice. It's cardboard instead of the wood, so it doesn't change gameplay at all. Second thing I like, again, the game is fast. There's no reason why you can't play this game doesn't go 30 to 45 minutes. There's no reason it should go an hour. And again, if you know what you're doing, even if this is your first game, it shouldn't go more than 45 minutes. My first game went about maybe 40 minutes. So it's a quick, fast game. And you could get this game done in multiple sittings. You could probably play not even 3, 4 games, which is what we did when we first played. So that's a big plus. So this makes a great addition to game night, just because of how fast you can play and how many games you can get in. Another thing I like is the player interaction. Now, it doesn't, with auction bidding games, sometimes the interaction is not as high, especially when it's set collection, because you're kind of working on your own board here. But I like how you can sometimes force other players to take these bad tiles. If you do call raw, you have to bid, but sometimes, you're calling raw, and now you're kind of forcing people to bid on a tile. Maybe it's a tile that they really want, but now they have to take the disaster tile, so it can mess them up in a way. There's just so many different things that you can do, and every game always felt different. There's a different strategy every time we played, and it's just that's another thing I liked about the game, is the replayability. It is a very, very high replayable game. Just again, like I stated before, because of the endless possibilities, the endless tiles that can come out. Also, the pushing your luck can feel really tense. Like when you're the last person and you're going in there taking as many tiles as you want, you can screw yourself over, or you can end the round and not get whatever you want. So it adds that tense gameplay to it. Again, this is just in my opinion. Other people might not feel the same. Now, I'm going to go over what I disliked. So the first thing is, there's a little bit of downtime. When you run out of your sundials and you can no longer bid for anything, you're just sitting there waiting for the round to end. But that also could be your fault. You don't want to start bidding right away. You want to try to keep the highest number of tiles, because at the end of the game, sundials, excuse me. At the end of the game, the person with the highest sundials is going to get those 5 victory points. And also, the first person that bids is stuck with the number 1 victory sundial. So, you can screw yourself over by bidding early. The second dislike is, as much as I love the Egyptian theme, the game is kind of themeless, because it's just auction and set collection. With just an Egyptian theme that's just slapped on there. I mean, it's not a big deal, but again, don't expect a heavy theme game. So overall, what do I think about this game? Again, this is a 24-year-old game, so it's been around for a long time. When I first played it a few times, I was like, great, it still holds up after 24 years, 25 years. And I was originally wanting to give it a 8.5. It's a great game. But the more I played it, the more I fell in love with it. It just keeps getting better after every single game. Again, I am new to this game. I haven't been playing it for 24 years or many years as other people have. But the game is just pure fun, and it just keeps getting better for me every time I play. It still holds up after all these years, and it's a game that I can never see it. It's never leaving my collection. I love it that much. It's that damn good. And I'm glad that 25th Century Games brought it back, and it's better and prettier than ever. I mean, do you need the Pharaoh edition? No. I mean, unless you really, really like this game, then yeah, get the deluxe the deluxe components, because these components are gorgeous. I can't stress enough how incredible this game looks with the Pharaoh edition. Yeah, you're gonna dish out more money, but if this game means a lot to you, if it's a game that's close to your heart, or a game that you really like, then yeah, you can't go wrong with the Pharaoh edition, and you can't go wrong with the retail edition too, because again, I still think this is an amazing game after 24 years. That's what, and again, I was jumping with the rating, but I was gonna give it almost perfect. But again, there's the downtime, there's lackluster theme. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It is an excellent game. It's getting my seal of merit. It's this game I don't think is ever gonna get old. I mean, are there better auction bidding games out there? Well, absolutely. Nidavellir is a really good auction bidding game, but the fact that this game is how quick it plays, how simple it is. But don't think that because it's quick and simple that there's not much strategy to it. There's a lot of strategy in this game for such a simple game. And like I said, the infinite replayability. I can't see me ever getting bored of this game. We've been playing it a ton since I got it, since the pledge came in, and I have not been bored of it since. Yeah, it's just an amazing game. You can see why it's a classic. Is it for everybody? Absolutely no. Every game isn't for everybody, but you really can't go wrong with Ra. It's a great game for game night. It's a great family game. Yeah, I can see a lot of people really enjoying it even after 24 years. I didn't play the original when it first came out. Back in '99, I was more on N64 and stuff. I wasn't really into board games, but I can see a lot of people today really still enjoying this. And you don't have to be into auction games. Even board games itself. If you're not a heavy gamer, you're gonna still enjoy this game a lot. It's just I just feel there's a lot going on. There's a lot of strategy. And it keeps people engaged, and the fact that you could play more than 2-3 games in an hour setting, or even two-hour sitting, that's a big plus. But yeah, that's gonna be my review of Ra. Definitely pick this one up. You can't go wrong with it. Please like and subscribe to this video. It would mean a lot to me, guys. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment section. But that's gonna do it for today. I hope I catch you guys on the next video. Have a great one.